lush forests and sparkling rivers, the animals lived in harmony. But this peace had been threatened twice before. First, by the cunning ferret, who tried to sneak in to take control but failed. Then, by the sly fox, who tried to outsmart the villagers but was also defeated. However, these attacks were just a part of a bigger plan, a plan devised by the most dangerous of all, the wolf. The wolf was the true mastermind, and now, after the failures of the ferret and the fox, he was ready to take matters into his own hands. In a dark and cold cave far from the village, the wolf sat on a throne made of stone. His eyes glowed with anger as he glared at the ferret and the fox, who stood before him, trembling with fear. The cave was filled with the wolf's army, a fierce group of animals ready to do his bidding.
You have failed me. Twice you tried to capture that village, and twice you came back empty-pawed. Do you know what happens to those who fail me?
The ferret and the fox exchanged nervous glances, their bodies shaking with fear. They knew the wolf was not one to forgive easily.
Master, we didn't expect them to be so well prepared. They used their surroundings to their advantage. We couldn't break through their defenses.
Yes, Master. They outsmarted us with their tricks and traps. We didn't stand a chance.
Standing up, towering over them, asterisk enough of your excuses. I should have known you couldn't handle it. But this time, I will lead the attack myself. And this time, there will be no escape for those villagers.
The wolf led the ferret and the fox deeper into the cave, where his army waited in the shadows. It was a terrifying sight, rows of sharp teeth, glowing eyes, and claws ready to tear through anything in their path. The wolf's army was eager for battle, and they knew that under his command, they would not fail.
Listen well, we failed twice, but this time, we will not just attack, we will destroy everything in that village. Asterisk, he pointed to a large table filled with plans and blueprints. Asterisk, I've been working on new weapons and strategies. This time, we will overwhelm them with our strength and cunning.
The wolf showed his army the new weapons he had created. There were traps, sharp blades, and tools designed to turn the villagers' own defenses against them. The ferret and fox watched in awe, knowing that this time, the wolf would not tolerate failure. Meanwhile, back in the village, the animals were busy preparing for the unknown threat. They didn't know who their next enemy would be, but they knew it was only a matter of time before another attack came. The past attacks from the ferret and fox had made them cautious, and they knew they had to be ready for anything. Nibbles, the small but brave orange hamster, and Wobbles, the determined penguin chick, watched as their fathers took charge of the preparations. The fathers were wise and experienced, having lived through many challenges in their lives. They knew that the next attack would be the most dangerous yet, and they were determined to prepare the village for it.
We've defended our home twice before, and each time we've become stronger. But this time, we must be even more prepared. We don't know who will attack us next, but we do know that we have the power of nature on our side.
The villagers listened closely, their eyes filled with determination. They had seen how using the elements of water, fire, wood, and air had helped them in the past, and they were eager to learn more. They knew that their survival depended on their ability to work together and use their surroundings to their advantage.
This time, we will train harder. Each of you will master one of the elements: water, fire, wood, or air. Together, we will be strong enough to defend our home against any enemy.
The animals split into groups, each one focused on mastering a different element. By the river, a group of animals practiced controlling water. They learned to create barriers and traps, using the flow of the river to protect the village. The water team spent hours each day perfecting their techniques, learning to work in harmony with the river's currents. In the forest, another group of animals practiced handling fire. They learned to start small, control fires that could be used to protect the village without causing harm. The fire team spent long hours gathering dry wood, testing different ways to light fires quickly, and learning how to control the flames so they wouldn't spread out of control. Others worked with wood and earth, building defenses and crafting tools. The wood team learned to construct strong barricades, using the trees and rocks around them to fortify the village. They worked tirelessly, sawing logs, sharpening sticks, and stacking stones to create barriers that would slow down any enemy who tried to attack. High above, on the hilltops, a group of animals practiced using the wind to their advantage. The wind team learned to harness the power of the air, creating gusts strong enough to blow away any attacker. They spent hours each day feeling the breeze, learning to predict when the wind would pick up, and practicing how to direct the wind to where it was needed most. The mothers of the village were just as involved in the preparations. They took charge of training the female animals, teaching them to use their creativity and intelligence to outsmart any enemy.
Remember, we don't just fight with our bodies, we fight with our minds. A small splash of water can put out a fire, and a gust of wind can confuse even the smartest enemy. It's not about being the strongest, it's about being the smartest.
And always work together. When we unite, we are stronger than anything that comes our way. We have the power of nature, and together we can protect our home.
The female animals trained diligently, practicing everything they had learned. They worked in pairs and small groups, supporting each other and coming up with new strategies to outsmart their enemies. They knew that their role was just as important as the fighters on the front lines, and they were determined to do their part to protect the village. As the days passed, Father Hamster and Father Penguin carefully observed the progress of each group. They selected the best animals to form special teams, each with a unique role in defending the village.
We're creating 5 teams, each with a specific job. These teams will be our first and last line of defense. You've been chosen because you are the best at what you do. And we're counting on you to protect our home.
Let's go over the teams again. Team Blaze will control fire, using it to protect us. You must be swift and precise, making sure the flames only burn where they're supposed to. Team Torrent will command water, our most powerful element. You'll need to work with the river, controlling its flow and using it to defend the village. Team Gale will use the wind to shield us and strike at our enemies. Your control of the air must be perfect, using the winds to keep the enemy off balance. Team Timber will build and protect with wood and earth. Your barricades and traps will be crucial in slowing down the enemy's advance. And finally, Team Stealth will gather information and strike from the shadows. Your knowledge and cunning will give us the advantage we need to succeed.
The animals in each team stood tall, knowing that they had an important role to play in the coming battle. They trained harder than ever, learning new techniques and working together to make sure they were ready for whatever might come. The training was intense and exhausting. Every day, the villagers pushed themselves to their limits, practicing from dawn until dusk. They knew that their lives depended on their ability to work together and use their skills to defend their home. Despite the physical strain, the animals remained determined, knowing that their hard work would pay off when the time came. But even as the villagers prepared, there was a sense of unease in the air. They didn't know when the next attack would come or who would lead it. All they knew was that they had to be ready. As the training continued, Nibbles and Wobbles watched with admiration as their parents led the preparations. Although they were young, they understood the importance of what was happening. They stayed close to their parents, eager to learn everything they could. Both Nibbles and Wobbles were determined to do their part to help protect the village.
We'll be ready, won't we, Dad? No matter who comes, we'll protect our home.
Yes, Nibbles, we'll be ready. Remember, it's not just about being strong. It's about being smart and working together. That's what will keep us safe.
We won't let them take our village. Not now, not ever.
That's the spirit. Wobbles, we're all in this together. As long as we stand united, nothing can defeat us.
As night fell, the village was calm but on high alert. The animals took turns keeping watch, ready to sound the alarm at the first sign of danger. The special teams remained vigilant, knowing that the safety of the village depended on them. In the distance, the wolf and his army prepared for their attack, but the wolf was patient. He knew that rushing in would only lead to failure. This time, he would wait until the moment was right. He would strike when the villagers least expected it, and when he did, they would have no chance of defending themselves. But the villagers were not afraid. They had faced danger before, and they had come out stronger each time, with Nibbles, Wobbles, and their wise parents leading the way. The village was united and ready to defend their home against any threat. The episode ends with a sense of calm before the storm. The villagers are ready, the wolf is waiting, and the stage is set for the battle to come. But for now, the village remains safe, its defenders standing strong and prepared.